Hi, it's Julie from the PMFRC, and I am here with another Fireside chat. It has been a while since we have come to talk with you on this forum, but we did want to come back because we do have some new offerings coming up in this quarter. It is crazy to think that we are already in October and in what our quarter is, but here we are. School has already started. We've got like the little ones back and into the routine. And if you are looking for something new or a way to develop your own skills, the PMFRC can definitely support you in that. I am here with Derek DeRuiter, who is the Executive Director of the PMFRC and co-host of the Fireside Chat, as well as some members of our navigator team. Sierra is here. She is one of our newer navigators. Stephanie Hunter is also here. She is one of our second language navigators, as well as Annie Baudouin, who is leading the team. If you are familiar with the PMFRC, Annie will be a familiar face. She has been in a lot of different roles, but has spent a lot of her time working with Francophone families in our community. So we are glad to have you all join us. Derek, before we start talking about our new second language programs, why don't you give us a little bit of an overview of what's new at the PMFRC?
Yeah, of course. So we got quite a bit going on, like Julie said, lots of stuff going on this month, and we're busy. So a couple of things I think I want to highlight is our mental health team is offering an emotional toolkit workshop for kids, for children. So there's 3 sessions set up for that. We've got one for children ages 5 to 7 on October 17th. We've got one for children ages 8 to 12 on October 18th, and then one for teens, which is age 13 to 17 on October 19th. So if you're interested in that, please sign up. And then we have our coffee chat coming back. So we used to do this, which was at the Southside Community Center. It was kind of a social event to get people together. It's a morning drop-in that's held on the first and the third Tuesday of each month, runs from 9:30 a.m. to 11. And it's a great opportunity to make sure you get out, you can meet some new people and find out a bit more about the PMFRC, what we offer, and what's out there. So it's kind of a meet and greet chat kind of session if anybody's interested. And then October 25th, we're offering our mental health first aid for the veteran community. So it's a full day online workshop that runs for veterans and people who care for and about them. And if you're looking to register or get some information on that, you can speak with Louise, our veteran family programmer, to find out more. Okay. We're also bringing Play Troop back to the north side of the base. So right now it's only running on the south side at the community center. We're looking to bring it back up on this side of the base. The program gives parents and caregivers and children's ages 0 to 6 can join us. We're hosting it at the Recplex. So that's up here, just across, I guess, a little bit down from Dundonald. We are looking at doing that on Tuesdays, and it'll be in person, and it's a drop-in group, right? So it's a play group. So we continue to host it still at the south side on Monday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So that one's not going away. It's going to stay there. So if you want to check our website, you can find out more about the evening and weekend events that are also coming up at the north side. Last one I'll mention is our sensory swim is coming back. So we're pretty excited about this one, that we get to do this again. It's a monthly program, and it's an opportunity for families with exceptional needs to enjoy a family fun in a welcoming, sensory-friendly space. We're excited to offer this program out of Dundonald Hall, and it's in partnership with our with PSP. So if you want to contact our family navigator, Amy, for details on how to sign up for that, I think we're going to share some of that info below, I think, right, Julie? Perfect.
So everything that Derek talked about in the comments, I'm going to add those links below. So if you're interested in finding out more about those Play True events, we'll have the entire list there. If you're interested in signing up for sensory swim or the emotional toolkit, I'll have all of those links. So you can click through and either find the person you need to talk to or register online, because all of those options are available. Thank you, Derek. Before we go ahead to talk about these programs, a lot of the programs we have for second language are very specific to military families. And whenever we come on, we talk about military families and what's involved in military families. So before we go through, Andy, can you talk to a little bit about what is a military family and what we mean by that definition? Because I think the word family is a pretty loaded term and people have different definitions. How does the PMFRC define family, specifically a military family?
What we like to say for families is really it's anybody that the member has for loved ones. So what the member consider family, that's what we consider family as well. So family looks different for everyone, and want to make sure that we're inclusive to everyone, every type of families that's out there. It's very important for us that we support the one that you want us to support. So family means maybe just a partner, maybe your parents, maybe partners with children, maybe like whatever it is for you, that's the same for us. So you just have to let us know what is a family for you, and then that's the people will support for you. And for the specific second language training, family members have to be over 18 years old for most of our programs. But we also have a parent second language support guide that we're just put together to help with homework for the little ones. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we really want you to understand that for us, families is what you consider family.
And if you're ever not sure, give us a call.
Yes.
And I think really about all of the services and all the questions that we have, I would really encourage you to do that. Don't, if you're not sure and you're not sure whether you'd be eligible or if this is the program for you, the folks on this call would be thrilled to talk to you about it and sort of walk you through. And maybe this isn't the perfect fit. We can see what else we can find for you and make sure that you get the services that you need. Steph, when we talk about second language, a lot of the things that we do, I guess our core programs really revolve around two online services, Rosetta Stone and LRDG. And those are sort of the platforms that we have as the backbone for people who really want to improve their second language skills, either in English or in French. Can you talk about the two programs, what they are, what the difference is, and if someone's not necessarily sure where to go, what are the things that they should keep in mind when they're trying to make the decision, which is the program that's right for them?
Yeah, of course. So the first one that we have is LRDG, which is Language Research Development Group, in case anybody's wondering what that acronym stands for. That program is developed as a self-learning online direct platform. So what it means is you actually get to go in there and you can take the learning as you want to do and put your time in. We do ask that family members do designate specific times for the platforms that they're getting into. LRDG is very in-depth language skills. So that one is more specific to if you're looking at eventually obtaining your bilingualism certificate. So if you want to do that, that one is definitely a better one. It has more in-depth vocabulary, more in-depth literacy, and also is very strong on the grammatical structure. So that one I recommend for that purpose. But if you want to do LRDG and just to kind of get more in-depth in the Canadian French, that's also a really good one to stick with. Rosetta Stone is pretty well known like worldwide, but that one we sort of utilize if you want to do like the conversational French and you want to just sort of build up on your language skills to kind of decrease that barrier with communicating with family members. We really recommend that one. It has a really cool sort of accent specific technology that you can actually practice your pronunciation, and it's not a real person, but it will actually tell you if you're not pronouncing the words properly and get you to redo them over and over and over again. So it's very visual, good
in a fun way.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. It's as best as it can be for like a robotic pronunciation, but it will catch you if you're saying it, saying it often recommends you to repeat the words. So it gives you that repetition. So both those platforms are really good. What we do is we'll talk with the individual family member and just see what their goals and needs are. And we go through sort of a language questionnaire and see what their learning styles are so that we can direct them to the best self-directed platform that's good for their needs.
And one of the interesting things about LRDG is it's available across Canada. So if you are thinking, I'm not necessarily sure I want to launch into this huge program, LRDG has a lot of different levels. There's a chance that I'm going to be posted to Halifax or Esquimalt next year. All of the MFRCs do offer this program. So you would be able to continue it if you go to a different area. They'll be able to pick you up there and keep you on that learning journey. So I think that's another element, the fact that it is available across the country. Thank you, Steph. Online learning has sort of become inevitable. And, we talked about the pronunciation thing and, how people are going to grab that. But a lot of people, especially when it comes to languages, really want something a little bit more personal. Maybe they don't really feel that they're going to pick up on the skills on an online platform. Sierra, we are now starting this month offering some classes. Can you talk about the classes that we are offering? What's the level that they're set at and what language are we teaching?
Yeah, so starting October 10th, we'll be doing 2 beginners classes for learning English. We'll be offering both level 1 and level 2 simultaneously on Zoom. Every week for about 9 or 10 weeks, we're skipping the 31st for Halloween. Our level 1 class is a beginner's module with simple sentences and basic vocabulary. What we're going to be learning a bit more is to be in the present tense, greetings, self-introductions, and the learner is going to learn to talk about themselves and others, and also cover how to give and ask personal info. So that's your really basic level 1 class. Our level 2 module is also simple sentences with basic vocabulary. We're expanding on the greetings and self-introductions more. You're also going to be able to introduce your family and use plurals, and we're going to be expanding the grammar a little bit more using articles a and the.
And these are English classes, correct?
Yes, we'll be doing both of them are English classes, and they'll be taught simultaneously on Zoom. So learners can register for level 1 or level 2 because classes are happening at the same time.
And who's teaching these classes?
I am doing level 2 and Steph is doing level 1.
So if you're not necessarily sure, these are the faces, these are the people that you're going to be chatting with, and those are conversations that you can have. It's a chance to, practice actually talking back and forth. I think it's one thing to repeat a sentence and know that you're pronouncing it properly, but being able to call those words up from the back of your head, I think that comes with practice, and it comes with people giving you sort of that friendly feedback. And I think that Sierra and Steph are perfect for that, and really sort of supporting you in your efforts and making sure, giving you the confidence to at least go out there and try. These classes are in English. Annie, if someone is looking for ways to improve their French language skills, what are the classes that are available for them?
So they can use the Rosetta Stone licenses or self-directed LRDG, absolutely. But for in-classes, French classes, we refer our families to the Jeanne Lajoie school. Every year they offer different levels depending on the demand, so the different levels of French. So that's why we're focusing right now on English classes. It's because we have somebody else in the community that can offer the French one. So everybody's covered by doing that way.
Annie, I'm going to ask you a question that we didn't talk about ahead of time, but I know that you got this. We've been talking about family members, and what if a service member our CAF member is looking for classes? Where do we direct them?
Yeah, so it's a little bit like our mental health team. So the mental health team is seeing all the family members. However, if a member needs support, they will go to wire support. So for the language class, the second language is kind of like the same way. So we see family members, but if a member wants to learn about a second language, they go to their language school. So that's kind of like the way it's divided for the members.
I just think it's an important point to sort of put out there. If someone's watching and getting kind of excited, I'd love to take this class. If you are a service member, we're going to point you in that direction. This is really more for the family. Annie touched briefly on the family support. We have a lot of families that in our community, maybe one person speaks English, one person speaks French. Maybe we've made a decision to put the child in French school because mom or dad speaks French, we want to sort of work on those skills. And then that parent gets deployed. And the parent at home is really, really trying hard to support their child in second language efforts, but not so much. Steph, how can we support those families?
So what we brought in is a parent second language support guide. And what it is additions that we're providing during different times of the year. The context is unique, specific to that time of the year. And what it is just to extend that learning from the traditional classroom to the home environment. So really it is the family can take the information that's provided in it and use it to the way that their family dynamic needs. If they're not able to speak the second language, it provides tips and tricks for families. Sometimes we put an activity that might be current to that time of year, and it also gives access to services that are within the community. So it sort of coordinates those services that families can reach out to if we're not able to help them within our military community itself. So really it is a guide that is sort of specific to those times of years. Like for example, when we go back to school, we would have different things on how to do that transition. If you're reintegrated into the school system, or if it's a new school season for the children and that's their first time starting. And also as well, we'd have things for like the summer leave. So just different things to keep keep that learning going and to encourage children and their families at home to continue it like all together and to speak together. Because of course, if we can help families build up that confidence, then of course it'll go with the children as well, and they'll be more confident in their learning.
And if families have some suggestions of things that they are working on, or maybe something that you'd want to talk about, like in a future edition, let us know. I mean, we can sort of do that research and share it. Oftentimes, if you are experiencing something, other families are as well. We'd love to sort of find out what those barriers are and see if we can sort of help you with those pieces. Sierra, you are one of the newer members of our Navigator team. If we have a family who is maybe looking for support with second languages, we have a lot for them other than these pieces. Can you talk about some of the other ways that a navigator could support somebody, either a Francophone family or somebody looking for second language support?
So if the learner is participating in second language teachings, we offer regular follow-ups. So we consistently check in with the students to see if there's anything that we can help them with, just to ensure their success. And also, if programs haven't been accessed recently, we just check up on them and see how they're doing, if there's anything we can help them with, because sometimes people don't necessarily reach out for help, so we reach out to them. We also provide assistance in navigating the platforms. Like you said before, everything's gone online now, and not everyone's familiar with things that are online. So these programs could be new for some people. So we make sure that the technology doesn't get in the way of their learning, and we can help guide them through the platforms to make sure that they learn it. And we also provide assistance with finding local Francophone resources. So if you are a Francophone and you are looking for particular community groups or particular Francophone resources, if you get in contact with us, we can assist you in finding those.
Thank you. We're all smiling because Sierra is our local IT and tech person. So she has helped us navigate a number of platforms, and I really give kudos and recommendations. If you're looking for help navigating the platform, these are the folks to speak with. And you've worked for the MFRC for a lot of years. I'm not going to put a number on it because, well, that's not kind. We talk a lot about second language services, and we know that there are people who want to learn French, but there's also, you've dealt with over the years, a lot of Francophone families that come into this community, and they struggle in a lot of ways because this is very much an English community. And for someone who has English as a second language, there's some additional challenges that come with a relocation or deployment that other families may not face. Can you talk about some of those issues that Francophone families face, and sort of ways that, you know, the PMFRC might be able to support them?
Definitely. It was me 23 years ago. I moved here, didn't speak English, barely understood it. So this is something that I lived through, so I completely understand anybody coming to me and say, okay, I'm not quite sure what is this place? What do I do? Where do I go? I know it's difficult to rebuild a network. Do I build only a Francophone network? Where are these people? Am I expanding a little bit? Trying to learn my new neighbors and things like that. Like, that's difficult. Finding employments can be difficult as well. So like, I know when I started here, I opened a private home daycare in French to support these families that needed, you know, a daycare, but also for me to kind of like integrate into my community and finding ways to learn a little bit more about what's going on around. So there's a lot of different challenges or barriers that Francophone families will face until they get the hang of it or they learn English. So one of my first thing I had to do was spending time in classes and trying to learn English. And then it would be like learning songs, watching movies, like all of those things that you immerse yourself in it. There's an amazing Francophone community here, a great Facebook group. People are here to help and support each other. So reach out to us and we'll be able to guide you where to find those peeps, how to build your network. We even have employment services. We have Francophone coaches that can support you and trying to help you define the skills you have, what you need to add so you can find the job you need in Petawawa. Petawawa is a great place. Like I said, 23 years now, we've been here. We're doing great, and I know you can too.
So if you're just looking for someone just to encourage you who's been there, I think that can be so important, just to talk to somebody who understands what the struggle is. Over the years, Annie and I have had a number of chats, things I never even thought about, like the extra challenge of finding a doctor who you'll be
Gotcha.
able to speak to in French, and you can sort of understand what you're saying and also sort of communicate back to you. So give the team a call. Sierra, Steph, Annie, all of them are available, and they can sort of walk you through it, or even just be that listening ear. If you are afraid of like sort of dropping in, there's always a navigator on duty. Come to coffee chat. Even if it's us, we will come and chat with you and just sort of give you an opportunity to get out and meet people. We really want to make sure that you know that you are always welcome at the MFRC. Derek, talking about PMFRC supports beyond the navigator team and beyond the folks offering the second language services. There's a lot of other services that Francophone families can access that we could use to support them. Can you talk about some of those?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously we've covered a lot of what the navigators do and that we offer those services in English and French, right? But we also have our welcome services. So we do that in both English and French. And we work hard to make sure that we can service both of those clients, right? Internally, we will offer mental health services as well. We do have a Francophone on that team that we can work with, as well as we have our employment services location, right? So we do have an employment coach there that does have areas of Francophone and can do that service in French as well. And of course, always in English, right? So internally, that's what we have. We also have some services out there that are available 24/7 throughout the community, right? So we have the FIL, the information line. We have SIFMAP, as well as there's always the Bell Teen Crisis Texting Hotline that is available in both official languages as well. So I think we're going to share some of those numbers again. So to make sure that everybody feels supported and 24/7 there is access to that information.
Is anybody else anything else that they want to chat about before we go? If you're thinking, why are you doing this video in English, talk about Francophone services, we have thought about that as well. Just so you know, we will be doing another video later on in French, and we will be sharing that as well. So if you would rather hear this in a different language, it'll be coming to you shortly. We want to make sure that we mention that. Our next Fireside Chat is in 2 weeks from now. We're going to go back to the Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about healthy relationships. It's going to be Healthy Relationships Week, and we'll talk about some of the resources that are available to families in the defense community. Thank you so much for joining us. If anybody has any questions about second language support or otherwise, no door is the wrong door. Reach out either to the navigator team, call our main line, call one of the people who you see on your screen. We'd all love to chat with you and help you out. Have a great day.